up, everybody? It's a gorgeous day out here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's like 75 degrees right now, like 75, 76. I'm out here with Brady, and I'm gonna try to redo this how to wheelie a Harley Davidson video. We're headed back to the stunt lot, and hopefully today I can get everything recorded. I want to go over a couple things for you guys regarding the whole wheelies and how to wheelie. First off, I want to say that this is a very requested video from a lot of people. It's not a video I ever planned on making, but I've had so many people request it, I figured, you know what, might as well. That being said, there are a lot of good how to wheelie Harley Davidson videos out there. I'd advise you guys to just check out all of them, because the thing with these and the thing with any bike that you're gonna wheelie is everybody does it differently. This kind of goes without saying, but this is how I wheelie a Harley Davidson. This is how I do it. I also want to say that I'm not a teacher or an instructor, so I'm going out here with like no plan at all. So yeah, bear with me if I ramble, if I'm kind of all over the place trying to explain everything to you guys, because I'm not a teacher. I feel like I get out there and I'm like, oh, you want to know how to wheelie? Well, just do this. I get a lot of questions about what speed and what RPM I'm dumping the clutch on and everything, and I don't know. My gauges are down here, and every time I wheelie, I'm looking ahead of me. I'm never looking at them. So I brought a suction cup mount. I'm gonna try to stick my GoPro on the tank facing the gauges so you guys can get a view of that. So the first thing I always tell everybody, and the biggest question I always get, or the biggest issue I guess I always hear about, is like, oh, I'm spinning, you know, I can't even get the thing to hook up, and it just comes up slow. So the basics, obviously you've heard this millions of times, you got to keep your rear brake covered, because if you start going back too much, you can use that, tap it a little bit, it'll bring you back down, you won't end up looping out. You just don't want to smash the rear brake. You want to get comfortable just playing with the rear brake. I wouldn't try to bring the bike up to balance immediately. I'd bring the bike up and then set it down with the rear brake, just so you can like feel it. You can feel how much your rear brake you need to give your rear brake to bring your bike back down, because you don't want to mash that thing and end up mouse trapping. As for hooking, if you don't have if you're using the stock tire, the first thing I tell everybody is to play with the tire pressure, to lower the tire pressure. When I got this thing, when I first started wheelies on this thing and I had the stock tires, I was dropping it down to like 10 PSI and it was still barely hooking, but I was getting it to at least hook. Right now I run the Shinko 777s. That's the stickiest tire I've ever had on this bike, and I don't really have a whole lot of issues with it hooking until I come out to dusty, smooth concrete like this. That's another thing. The concrete matters. Pretty much any kind of stunt lot, the typical stunt lot you're going to find is going to have this kind of stuff. This stuff, it can be pretty slick, pretty tough to hook up on, at least on a Harley, but hooking is probably the hardest part I hear about everybody struggling with in the very beginning. Good tires, lower tire pressure, shocks help, rear suspension helps with the way that the bike squats to allow it to hook up and everything. Rear suspension definitely helps a lot. Other than that, I'm doing these in first gear. That's another thing people ask me what gear I'm doing them in. I am in first gear, and I'm going very slow. The torque on these bikes are very low, so you gotta find out where your power band is on your Harley, and just play with that little sweet spot. Body position. A lot, when wheeling anything, I see people lean forward into the tank a lot, and that's just your natural reaction. It's going to happen, but you got to kind of fight it and kind of train yourself to lean further and further back, like physically, and it's going to feel scary at first, especially on these, and especially if you're getting up to almost balance, because it feels like you're literally, you're literally just hanging off the bike. That being said, a good seat is very important. I wheelied this thing for about a year, before I got this seat. I had the stock seat and I could not even get to balance before my ass would start sliding out of the seat. So a good grippy seat that's got a tall back on it that's going to hold you in place, that is an absolute game changer for sure. Getting a little shorty lever helped me a lot. Using the stock big lever and everything, having to pull it into your knuckles, trying to two finger it, it can be done, it can happen, it's not impossible, but it's kind of annoying. Before I got this little one finger lever, I actually just took my stock lever and I took a Dremel to it and I just chopped it off. I just cut it in half where I could two finger it, pull it all the way down the bar with two finger and dump the clutch. And that actually made a huge difference, at least for me. You know, a lot of people say that they can, after they start to hook, they can get the bike up, but they can't get it to stay up. That's just something you gotta play with. These things are heavy. They don't have a whole lot of rev range to them, so if you don't pretty much snap it up to where you want it, you're gonna chase it out and you're not gonna have very long to chase it out. They don't like to chase out. So like I said, real slow. And that one was chased out just a little bit, but I was high enough up in the air that I had more rev range to play with. If you're way low, you're gonna have a couple seconds of the wheel off the ground before that thing wants to just set down on you. Oh, see, like right there, I spun, it kicked out, I didn't hook up. It'll happen, and he spun too, I just heard that chirp. It'll happen, it's gonna make you mad, it's gonna be super frustrating, but you just gotta power through it. Power through it, just keep playing with your settings on all your stuff, and just find out where it hooks. I mean, I've been spinning all day today, and I don't know why, because last time I was out here I was hooking. Ooh, like that kicked out real hard on me. The throttle, you want to be smooth with the throttle. You don't want to be choppy with it, because that's just going to bounce the bike up and back and forth, and it's not going to feel good. Fuck. Another thing that kind of came to mind to me just now is a good flat surface is a very good place to practice. If you can find yourself a lot and practice out there, not worry about cars and stuff like that, that's a very nice place to go. This lot, I hate making excuses, but this lot slightly just pisses me off because it looks flat from here, but there's very minor bumps that are just enough to where when I'm up in a wheelie, smashing the bumps with the bike up in the air, it's horrible. See, he's chirping. He's definitely chirping. Every one he's pulled up has went, skirt, 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 skirt. So we've switched out here to this street in front of the lot because I don't know what it is. It's a warm day. I got low tire pressure. I'm still not hooking at the lot, and that's kind of I'm not really mad about that for the sake of this video, because that goes to show no matter what you're doing, things might not always go your way. We gotta get out of here, get some air to my bike, because she's sounding tired right now. Like I said, I'm not a teacher, so I hope I covered everything. I hope I helped some of you guys out at least with a couple little questions. I tried to answer most of the the most common questions that I get. Pretty much it all has to do with gaining traction in the beginning, because that's like the hardest part. I struggled with it for a long time, was getting traction. I know a lot of other guys struggle with it too. Manny Moto, if you go watch Manny Moto's videos, shout out to the homie. When he was first doing sit downs, he could not get it to hook up, and it took him a minute to get it to find that sweet spot. My bike is a stock 88 motor, which is like the smallest motor you can get in a Dyna. It's a 1450cc, and it's stock. I still have the stock belt, the stock pulley, stock transmission, stock. It is a 6-speed transmission because it is an 06, but it's a 6-speed 88, all stock. It's all seat time after that, is get out there and practice and practice and practice. That's what I did. I complain a lot about my progression getting slower, but that's because I haven't been going out to the lot as much as I used to. Woo! I'm sweating, baby! That's a very important thing when doing wheelies, guys. You got to drink water. You gotta stay hydrated. Pointing us to go back to the lot. Fuck that, dude. I just came from there and I'm hot as balls. Gang, gang. Straight pimpin'. Just saying hi to the neighborhood. Occasionally hit somebody with a gang gang. Oh. We got an OG scooter ganger right here. I didn't realize that car was right next to me. Well, guys, pretty much gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope I helped somebody with their Harley wheelie practice. I will see you guys on the next one.